And hi guys, welcome to the 40K Empress show. And today we have a very interesting topic that we are going to discuss live. So I watched the video, guys, the latest video of course, Chapter Master Varlock, and sometimes he has some theories that people give him, and sometimes they're interesting, and sometimes they're not really that interesting. I would say that most of them are really for the for the tinfoil hat. So full disclaimer, of course, this is very clear that is just a theory, of course, but we as fans, at least most of us, are very excited about the volume 2 of the Siege of Terra final book. So yeah, this is what the topic, the theory is about, basically, guys. Is Constantin Valdor to be blamed for what actually happened to the Emperor? Did Constantin Valdor put the Emperor on the golden throne? And before that there was a theory that actually it wasn't him, but it was in fact Sanguinius, which I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, right off the bat, I have to say it. So guys, Constantin Valdor is one of the most absolutely amazing Custodes that ever freaking lived, if not the most amazing Custode. And you do know that I totally love Custodes because I'm still freaking painting them. Yeah, I don't know if some of these can become Constantin Valdor. I'm not sure yet, but getting right to the topic, guys. In the first book, The End and Death, we saw how Custodes, and that's a spoiler, so full disclosure, guys, there's going to be some spoilers, which is inevitable. If you haven't read the first book of this last two books, I think that there's going to be two, yeah, last two books from the Siege of Terra, you have been warned. The impossible happened in the first book, and Custodes were basically kind of corrupted, and I also discussed this in a separate video. They were kind of corrupted by chaos. There was a loophole in the whole unbreakable Custodes, the way that they're made and all of that. They are basically uncorruptible. But there's really this loophole in this, how to explain this, a magic, a magic realm of possibilities. So yeah, it's very long, guys, to explain it, but yeah, they were compelled to go and freaking kill the hell out of the Emperor. So they wanted to resist it, they really tried, but a lot of them just couldn't resist. And although it was against their own will and their whole being was screaming out of their blah blah blah, it is live, guys. So their whole world totally got, upside down. Yeah, turned into to the upside down, of the Stranger Things. Yeah, actually, that's a good comparison. If you have seen Stranger Things, there's this world which is called the Upside Down, and it's like the opposite of the real world, and it's very cool, actually. And thank to Justine, I'm going to address that just right after we are finishing with everything. I'm gonna address what you just said, but thank you very much. So yeah, guys, if you have seen that, you would know that that's totally the opposite. And I have said a few times, actually, in my Warhammer analysis, that the world in Warhammer, the warp, and actually not only the warp but the whole thing, how it's written, because you always have to think how some things are written, because if you don't, you will never actually understand the authors, how they are thinking, how they are constructing the stories, the characters, why they are choosing to do certain things with certain characters. And because I used to be like top of my class when it comes to literature, I cannot say that in English, sorry guys, it's very hard for me coming from my original language, but yeah, since I was very good analyzing authors, it's one of the things that I just love to do, and I am very often correct. And then when I hear an interview from one of these authors and they actually confirm what I was thinking, it's just great. So my point is that because the world of Warhammer is very the opposite of how we can perceive our world today, and from religious standpoint as well, you could say it's like the opposite. It's more negative than positive. We do have negative things in the world, of course, but it's like mostly negative to the negative, you know. And whenever there is light, which is in the face of the Emperor of mankind, there's also darkness because the Emperor is not pure. He's also doing a lot of things that are extremely questionable to begin with. So, the point is, guys, that what happened to the Custodes is actually like a mini minor occurrence that basically turned their world upside down, and it made it negative in their perception. And for them, the Emperor is the light. He's the beacon, he's everything, he's their whole world for which they actually exist. That is extremely important to note. So, for the Custodes to turn against their light, their beacon, their reason of being, it's absolutely crazy. And the way that it's written in the book, I think that it does make sense. I have to revisit it. Honestly, I have to revisit my own video about it because the analysis was rather thorough, and I do want to tap into that once more before I probably get to the new book. The point, again, guys, is that what we saw there and the explanation does make sense. But now, getting back to Constantin Valdor, can he actually be one of those Custodes to turn on the Emperor? I personally, guys, honestly do not think so. Because he is top of the top. He is the one who will never turn. I don't think so. A lot of people attribute a lot of qualities to him as well, and he did prove himself through the years. He is not just a random Custode. Not that Custodes can be random to begin with, because each and every one of them is special. And thanks so much for the gifted membership, dear Ivy. So, it is super mega important to know that he is absolutely amazing character, and I just don't think, guys, that he can turn on the Emperor. It takes a lot of willpower, a lot of, inner DNA, even to a point, mastering of the whole being, every cell in his body, every particle of his soul, even. You can call that maybe all of the shards of his soul or something, to resist what happened, but I think that he did. And to me, I also don't think that GW will jeopardize what has been written so far. We can have some buffer in terms of what can be changed in the original lore, but I don't think that they're going to change such a major thing. Like, Sanguinius is top notch, he's the purest of the pure, although bloodlust, blood rage, all those things, but still, in his core, he's able to acknowledge his flaw and fight against it and actually overcome it and be the best version of himself when he fights. That is the way that it is. We did find out through these books that he defeated Angron in this spectacular manner, and it was just absolutely amazing because Angron was upgraded by chaos and not by a small margin. So Sanguinius did absolute wonders, guys. I don't think that he can do this. And by kind of like the same token, I don't think that Constantin Valdor is capable of such a deed, although it would not be his fault even if he did betray the Emperor. But then again, guys, another question: why Constantin Valdor is still walking around, not a scratch on him from the said battle and theory? Because if he really fought the Emperor and wounded him so freaking bad that the Emperor is now on the golden throne, rotting for 10,000 years, Constantin Valdor had to have some kind of a mark on him, something to suggest that he is super wounded. I do not think for a freaking second that he can walk away from such a fight without any damage whatsoever. No, absolutely not. And who the hell then killed Horus? How did Horus ended up at the end of the Emperor's sword? Or you want to tell me that they just all got into a fight and the Emperor was like, ooh, my sword, ooh, ooh, and stabbed accidentally with the optimal power, with the ultimate from Overwatch. He stabbed Horus and he killed him. Like what, by accident? No, I don't think that they're going to like retcon this moment because it's very spectacular. It was emotional, and yes, this moment actually does not account for some of the other things that we do know about the Emperor and his character. There's some contradictory character traits that we can see from from this story compared to how the Emperor is shown to be like when it comes to the Primarchs in other stories after that and before that. So I wouldn't say the Horus Heresy books in this exact moment where he hesitates so much about killing Horus or not. It's such a huge deal. It's made to be this amazing moment, and I don't think that by any means this can be retconned because it was so heavily emphasized what exactly happened. And the Emperor had this turmoil. He was in such a dilemma: to kill my son, to not kill my son, to kill my son, to not kill my son. And yeah, he did, of course, but the Emperor never actually showed that he had any such deeper feelings and just such a connection. I mean, yes, Horus was his favorite son. He was obviously the war master, but the Emperor never actually showed real feelings. And a lot of people say that, well, because he is such a powerful being, he existed for the longest time and he lost his humanity along the way. Yeah, okay, I can say okay to that, but that is exactly the point. Why then he should be faced and he should be wondering why he should, whether or not he should freaking kill Horus or he shouldn't. So I do hope that whatever we do get in this latest book, that it does make sense and it gives us more context about what actually happened. That fateful moment, I would say fateful evening, but I'm not sure if it's actually an evening. It was stated in the previous book that time just looped there. Basically, the warp made everything to loop. It's like a one day, so time was running and time was not running. That's always confusing in whatever book you read, basically. So I do think that in the new book, and of course, guys, take that with a huge grain of salt, but if a Varlock, Chapter Master Varlock, if he thinks that this can't happen, I'm kind of like the opposite. I think that this cannot happen. I mean, he did say that probably won't happen, so I acknowledge that. He did say that this probably won't happen. But he kind of wants to happen, judging by his reaction. Me personally, I just rather have the consistency of good storytelling, and to take a custody like Constantin Valdor right here and to make him a traitor, I just don't think that that's appropriate. It's going too far. It's one thing for the Custodes to be betrayers. Sorry, guys. Yeah, but it's totally another thing to take the best of the best, the most renowned custodian, to make him the worst traitor ever. So yeah, I don't like that. You do have to keep something sacred. You do have to keep some character traits, character qualities to be intact, because those are the qualities, the traits that makes these characters, well, themselves. And if you can just retcon everything and just be like, Custodes are no longer this, and they can do whatever, and they can betray the Emperor. Then, Grey Knights. Oh yeah, Grey Knights are totally corruptible. Like, who cares? Haha. That's not good. That's not good for the lore. That's not good for, well, the overall integrity of the universe. So if I was one of those amazing authors that have on their backs the whole heaviness, the whole weight of the 40k universe, I will not cross some lines, because some respect has to be given to what these characters actually are. And it's just extremely important, guys. So I say no, and we'll see who is right. Although once again, Chapter Master Varlock didn't say that that's gonna happen. He did say the opposite. But yeah, let's say if he is in favor of this, I'm pretty much against it. I am wondering what, guys, what we are going to see that we haven't seen yet in the latest book. Of course, I'm going to try to go through it as soon as possible and see what's in it. I'm having trouble with the Lion book still, unfortunately, but I know what happened, so at least that. I do plan to finish at least that last Siege of Terabo, because it's the last book, and I do hope that there's some good things in there. I really do. Something about Sanguinius that will lead us to believe that maybe, just maybe, he can come back someday. I really want him to come back. Like, please, Sanguinius, come back. You're amazing. You have been dead for 10,000 years. I think that's pretty much enough. He paid for for whatever. I mean, his death has echoed throughout the universe, and the Blood Angels, all the successor chapters, everything that he was ruling over, so to speak, all of his influence, everything is over, so whatever happened, it has run its course. That's what I want to say. So if he comes back, that will not diminish his death, because his death had enough time, 10,000 years to be exact, maybe 10,000 and something years, but yeah, you know what I mean, to reflect on the universe, had consequences. I mean, yeah, to have consequences. So now he can come back and maybe push the story in the lore in some other direction. He can really bring a lot of Primarchs back and not convolute the story, actually make it more interesting if they know how to write these things, and they do. So little by little, if more Primarchs come back, like it is expected, there's much to be explored on how things can go in whatever direction. So I would like to see some kind of a spark of Sanguinius coming back. And I would like to see how the fight between the Emperor and Horus transpired, maybe in more detail. I wouldn't mind that. And whatever else GW can surprise us with. So guys, I'm going to turn my attention to what you are saying now in the chat. So almost all of my Primarchs are here. Hi guys, let us see. Chris, hi to you. Sturdy, I want to thank you once again for the amazing Custodes battle pack, basically. Yeah, and there's Sisters of Battle in there too, so I'm very happy that I'm gonna get Sisters of Battle to paint. That's gonna be amazing, as long as I can finish these boys right here. So Sturdy says, not to mention she deserves any boost possible. Very talented and criminally underappreciated creator, our Gary. Oh boy, that's about me. Oh boy, thank you. I'm trying, guys. And yeah, I do want to quickly update you about what's gonna happen with the channel here. So I am working on, like, you did see that short video probably, about my if the Emperor, not if the Emperor, but about those two Astartes that were arguing 15 reasons why the Emperor of Mankind sucks. And I do plan to do 15 reasons why the Emperor of Mankind doesn't suck. But first we got to get to the other 10 reasons. So there's the first 5 and there's the other 10. And that's gonna take a while. I plan to do such an original content, like completely original. I'm writing it, I'm voicing it. If Logan can help me again, he's gonna voice the other Astarte. Obviously I'm using voice modulation here. and I'm gonna improve upon that. I have ideas. So yeah, I'm doing basically everything about these things, and whatever it is now, it should evolve. But you know, these things just take time, and I'm learning new editing software in the same time. Did something happen with my stream, guys? Hold on. It seems like my browser crashed. Just totally crushed. Let's see what happened. Okay, am I still here, guys? Because literally my browser just collapsed on me. See your takes on the Big E. Thank you, Justin. So yeah, I am still alive, it seems. Yeah, all of a sudden, just everything just went poof. I'm like, what the hell is happening here? Okay, so yeah, guys, give me a feedback. Thank you, Sir D. Give me a feedback if you can see me, hear me. Should be, because I see that there is a signal and everything, but still, that was very surprising how the browser decided to just crash. You're excited to see me, Justin? Oh boy. Thank you so much. Okay, let me just give me a few seconds, guys. Will GW write another massive betrayal one day? Maybe. Not sure if the near future though, based on all the debates that still go on. Yeah. It was the duel between Angry Boy and Angel Boy flying and just destroy each other. It was either a nameless space marine, but it was a sanguineous death. Nameless Imperial Guard soldier. You mean about the Imperial Guard soldier that just entered the throne room at that time? For me, I must admit one, my favorite moments is when Angron held Titanfoot. Angron held Titanfoot. When did that happen? I'm not sure what you mean there, but I have to check. Some say that it was an OI person who was the guard. Okay, I have no idea what that is for some reason. Stream is okay. Okay, always good. Oh, the above, top quality, stream still live, everything running fine. Okay, so it was just my browser. Thank you very much, guys. So, that's pretty much what we have so far about this. But I'm gonna, keep on it. The book should be like coming out at the end of the year, I think, which is kind of soon by this point. About the gaming channel, guys. So I'm gonna slowly build content there. There's gonna be a lot of more professional shorts here and there, streams, and some basically new types of videos. We'll see. I don't want to say everything because I'm studying still how to YouTube, although I'm for 100 years here on the platform, but I finally understand things better, so I can do better. And all of that learning curve and starting from the beginning almost with some of the things that I do, that's gonna take time to build up, maybe a few months, but in each and every day I'm putting some effort to improve and to put some of the things that I've learned into motion. And of course, scheduling wise, that's also something that I am constructing as I go. And yeah, and actually in OnlyFans, I'm also doing a lot and bettering the editing, and also doing movie reviews there now, as well as bonus content whenever I can. I just reviewed Barbie there, because I should not convolute this channel anymore. This channel should be only for Warhammer things, for sure, anything Warhammer, and the original content that I do want to make. So yeah, that is it for now, really, guys. It is very late here. I thank you so much for supporting me here. Here is, of course, this, which is like the best place to support me. I'm gonna read your comments lastly, and then I'm gonna go sleep because it's close to midnight. So, OI person, first War Master, the one with the 15 blade jumping time. Ah, interesting. And thank you, dear Clayton, for sharing 15 reasons why. The reason the Biggie killed Horus in the end is an Imperial guard rushed Horus, and the Biggie saw all of his humanity was gone when Horus kills this Imperial guard, tried to take on Chaos Chosen. Well, he already killed Sanguinius. By this point, Sanguinius was laying down and feathers were flying everywhere. So if that didn't convince the Emperor that his son has lost, he is lost, he is no longer himself, I don't know what will, honestly. I mean, anyone with a set of brains and some wisdom somewhere or understanding of any given situation will totally get the picture right away and be like, oh my gosh, this person is absolutely crazy. His eyes are glowing probably, and he does not look even like himself. He looks like all the chaos gods in one. Yeah, basically, yeah. So I don't know how that's a very good explanation. Any sane person should be able to recognize what's happening right away. And the Emperor, we give him so much credit that he is this amazing creature, but in reality we always try to come up with some kind of a excuse why he doesn't see something that's clearly obvious. So that's why I'm saying there's not a very consistent writing when it comes to the Emperor and what he does and how he treats the Primarchs. Sometimes they're his sons and sometimes they're just dudes. So those things should be addressed, and I do need some kind of a connecting tissue which is going to explain that and maybe make sense why the Emperor is different. Maybe he has moments of clarity where he's more human and some moments that he's not, that he just lost and his own ego and powers. Who knows? Who knows? Thank you guys for watching. Have a great weekend. And really, if you don't see me that often, at least for now, it's because I'm working on something else and studying, literally studying how to do things better. So that is why. But all of that will hopefully snowball to more and better content, or at least a lot better content, because you know, more is not better. So there's that. I had to find that out the hard way, and I do have to always have some kind of a streams, which for me the streams are like goodies. I mean, they're like the reward if I did something, if I actually finished the project. So that's how I'm gonna treat it, because streams are very easy to do compared to a whole production of anything, but of course they're just not good for YouTube and good for overall content. There has to be streams, and there has to be shorts, and there have to be English videos that are quality. So thank you guys, love ya, and until very soon with me, the 40K Empress. Love ya.